Peace and blessings, it's Nye, and I'm here with my good friend Brigette, who I think I've known you for six years?
Yeah, must be by now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Made me feel like really old. But I've known, she used to be my trainer when I was a graphic designer at Disney, and she was also a graphic designer, and we became pretty close buddies.
Yeah.
Because we like the same stuff.
And we giggle a lot.
Yeah. It would be like in meetings. But yeah, I've known her forever, and when I knew I was coming down to Florida, it was just a perfect opportunity for us to A, hang out, and B, sort of, I guess, share your story so that people can A, understand and maybe see like the blessings within their own life, maybe. So do you want to share it?
Sure.
Yay! And I'll just interject with weird comments as I do. It is, the more you know.
Okay. Well, I was born with cystic fibrosis, which is a genetic disease, and it affects the respiratory system. It also can have pancreatic issues. Essentially what happens is your body overproduces mucus, and over time that clogs your airways and makes it hard to breathe, and thus supplemental oxygen.
Did you have to have the thing that like shakes you?
Yeah, it's called a vest, and it's literally a vest that hooks to a machine, and
just to release the...
And it breaks up the mucus. It makes it easier to pop it out.
And you still do that?
Yeah, still do that.
Oh my god.
Every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Every
day.
day.
Medications.
And how long do you have to have the vest on?
It takes about 20 minutes or so.
What?
It's a good time to catch up on emails.
Oh my gosh. If we ever complain about our lives, oh my goodness, alhamdulillah. Okay.
So I was diagnosed when I was 4. At that time, they didn't do like screenings for pregnant women, and most states now do. It's part of that screening, which is good. Find out earlier, you can treat it earlier.
Gotcha.
So when I was about 4, I came down with pneumonia, went to the hospital, and that's when they ran tests and figured out what it was. So, but till that I was, I think 25.
Yeah.
I didn't go in the hospital until then. So I was really lucky to have a normal childhood.
Yeah.
All the normal things.
I think when we hung out together, it was around that age when you started to go into the hospitals.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. One time, she had to go back home and go for a really long time in the hospital, and I would Photoshop photos.
Yes.
Ransoming our friends, saying if we'll hurt him if you don't bring Brigette back. But like, yeah, and I don't think
Tony Dan's up there. Remember the Tony Dan?
Oh my gosh.
No, that was just
sorry, we just the stuff that we did, the shenanigans we got up to. Oh my goodness. Oh no, do you remember when Andrew lost his name tag?
Yes!
And then Myra found it? And then he had to sing the national anthem to Brazil to get it back. Oh my goodness, sorry, memory lane real quick. But yeah, you were in the hospital for a couple months.
Yeah.
And it's been like that.
Summer, my lost summer.
Yeah, it's been like that since.
Yeah,
and
I've been every probably 2 to 3 months, spending about 3 weeks in the hospital.
How long have you been on oxygen?
2 years.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. When did you know that it was, things were changing?
Well, actually, that first time I went in the hospital, when I was about 25, I came back from that quite well. Yeah. So it was a few more years before I start to decline again. And I think when I started to go in more frequently and would come out not better or as good as I wanted to be, that's when I knew okay, now it's about trying to maintain what I have, not getting better.
Right.
Yeah, don't take for granted
Yeah.
the little things you have, and you know, I in a way I don't feel I'm worse off than anyone because everybody in their lives has something
Right.
that they have to deal with, and I think I think you have to let yourself, when something big comes up, I think you have to let yourself kind of grieve for it. Like for a long time, I didn't let myself be angry or upset. Like I'd always stop and be like, oh, you're so stupid. You know, there's people out there who are going through worse stuff. How can you think you're just, you know, worse off than anybody else?
Yeah, you didn't let yourself have that pity, not just a pity party, but like to grieve for the fact that it's not going to be the same.
And then it kind of just built up, and I finally had to let myself grieve for those things I lost. Like, you know, I lost my job. You know, things I did with friends I can't do anymore. But I have to look at it as not like those were taken away from me, but now, okay, well, keep myself healthy, eventually get lungs, then I can do all these new things.
Right.
So it's like, I think you have to let yourself at some point be angry or
like
sad about something.
When was that moment when you just sort of like let yourself grieve for the fact that...
Probably not, probably in the past year. It's been pretty recent. Because for a long time I think everybody's like, oh, you're so strong and you're going through this, and kind of felt I had to keep that up. I had to
People
be
were
that
saying
person.
how strong, yeah.
I'm like, oh God, people think I'm strong. I can't cry in front of them. I can't let them know inside I'm just so miserable going through this. And so I went through it, which is, you know, kind of a bout of depression, but I had to just let it go.
Let it go, let it go. It's true. You do. Just have to let it go.
And so now, you know, I still have times when I get bummed out if somebody invites me to do something, or I have to cancel plans at the last minute, you know, but
that's like the Irish guilt.
Yeah, you put that guilt on yourself. It's true.
You put that guilt on yourself. They're the people that like you made plans with are completely understanding, but that guilt.
Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get it.
And same thing I think with caretakers. Like, you know, I have my boyfriend and my mom, or people who take care of me, and I feel guilty for that because, you know, that's a part of their lives now too. And I'm just like, oh, but on top of everything else I do, and they say
they love you.
It's no. Why would I not do this for you? Yeah.
It's like their service. It's like their act of love to you.
Yeah. But yeah, still
it's
that thing.
Still, you don't want to.
Because my thing is like, I can't do that for you right now. Yeah. You know, I wish I could do big things for you. And so when I get well, I've got some.
Just you wait.
Payback.
Just you wait.
I'm coming for you.
I'm coming for you. I'm going
good things.
Such good things are coming your way. It's like, I will be so nice and very thoughtful.
Yes, exactly.
How funny is that? It's usually like a murder note.
I will load the dishwasher and clean out the dryer lint.
Just you wait, this day will come. You won't know when.
The house will be immaculate.
No, like in the movie Taken with Liam Neeson.
I don't know.
I have a certain set of skills. You won't know when. But the dishwasher will be unloaded. Oh my goodness. Your daily routine.
My daily routine. Okay. Get up in the morning and take pills.
How many?
In the morning, 10. Eat breakfast. Normally, I would walk my dog, but luckily now, Mom's staying with me, so she walks the dog.
That's nice.
Which makes her happy because we'd go about 2 feet and dog would be like, really?
That's all we got.
Come on.
You should train Lucy to be on the treadmill.
I know, that's what I wanted to do.
Because you have a treadmill, right?
Yeah.
You have to be on
Put her
it.
up there.
She's not having
That.
No. Just drag a piece of meat in front of her.
That's what I thought too, yeah. If I just
No.
So, eat breakfast. Try to put on clothes, but I'm not gonna lie. It's usually yoga pants and a t-shirt
Well, yeah.
for the day. Unless I'm going to, like, put on clothes for you today.
Oh!
Usually after that, honestly, by the time I get myself together, I nap.
It takes that much out of you.
Yeah, it is. And then it's lunchtime. And I eat lunch because Mom shoves food in my face.
Yeah.
And makes me eat.
I remember, oh my goodness, I remember when we first met. I remember the first lunch we ever had. And I was like trying to eat healthy, so I got a salad. And then you ordered the most caloric intake food ever. And I was just like watching her. She has to because you need to gain. So she needed to gain. And I didn't get it. And I was like, I hate just. And it was so funny. I just remember thinking, she's so tiny yet she ate so much, and it was like the heaviest thing on the menu, and you're just like, I just remember thinking, I'm so jealous of her. What a stupid thing to say, you know? And like I didn't know like anything. I didn't know anything about like the situation and the fact that you needed those things to be able to even function on a normal level.
Yeah, essentially what happens is as your lungs fail, it takes so many more calories just to breathe.
Right.
And then on top of that, walking, and I have to exercise, which is the hardest thing.
Because you have to
they're muscles, you gotta keep them going, So I'm supposed to take in about 3,000 calories a day. Just, and then I sleep and I burn more off. So, yeah, calories, protein. That's what I gotta do. I hate to complain about it.
Don't complain.
It's kind of like my job, and so when people keep telling you, you have to do this, it's like, leave me alone.
But like it's to even maintain.
Yeah, and that's kind of the goal now. I'd love to be able to gain weight, but as long as I'm not losing it,
it's
doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Some days I get out and do little things. Like, honestly, going to Target is like the greatest thing to me.
Oh yeah.
And I get to ride the scooter.
Oh, you get to do the scooter?
But I'm terrible at it. I don't think my boyfriend wants me sitting with me when I'm in it.
You like run in the walls?
And I'll get the shelves. I'm like, uh-oh. Then you just hear beep, beep, beep. And then,
You can just hear you in like the next out.
Like,
crash.
But I will say, like, the clothing section is not designed to drive those scooters through. Like, you take out racks. Like, I probably just come with only clothing racks attached to me.
And then all of a sudden you're like covered in clothing. You're like, I don't know how this happened.
I don't want to buy any of those.
Those are for me. Like, if you could tell someone who smokes, what would you tell them?
For people who smoke, I don't come out and just be like, why do you do? I understand, it's an addiction.
Right.
I know, I've known people who smoke, and I know it's not something you can I'll just throw these away. And
What would it say?
But at the same time, I would say make the effort to quit, even if you fail multiple times, whatever you need to do. Because it's not only your health, but obviously there's secondhand smoke. There's that lovely thing they call a third-hand smoke. And as much as people say, oh, well, I smoke outside, not around people, you still bring it in, it's still around. And I would just say it's not worth it. I can tell you that lung disease, not fun. It's very expensive. And actually smoking's very expensive, so you save yourself a lot of money there too.
Yeah.
But I would just say, try if you can. It's just, you instantly see the benefits.
Yeah. And another thing, like with with just breathing in general, the fact that we can do it so easily, and it's an absolute struggle for you.
Yeah.
If you didn't have your tubes, what would it be like?
Eventually my lips would turn blue, my fingernails would turn blue. I'd probably really have a hard time focusing, and maybe eventually pass out, or at least be very...
It would almost be like high altitude sickness.
Yeah. Or I tell people kind of like being underwater, or... Yeah, it's like, it's so hard to explain.
If you didn't have this, you would slowly suffocate.
Yes. Because when your oxygen levels drop, it affects your brain right away, and your other organs are like, all right, okay, check it out.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Which I've had bad experiences. Gone to the ER and the ambulance before, and
because that
woke up in the ICU going, what the heck happened?
That was just recently.
Yeah.
That just recently happened. When you just sort of passed out and then woke up in the ER.
Yeah. I think sometimes better I don't remember things, but
I can't even imagine like just being you, but like being your boyfriend or your mom.
Yeah.
And
my boyfriend was there. And that's what he said. He said the hardest thing is I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of guilts you on that guilt thing.
Okay.
Just because you have to put other people through that. So that's hard. It's like I can deal with it. I can be strong enough for me, but I can't.
Right. Yeah. I'll carry you. I'll carry you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because it really is just, it's the helplessness.
Yes.
Because it's really, you can't do anything. Heartbreaking.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Keep on.
Keep on.
I don't know.
I tell you what, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
That's probably better.
Yeah.
Trucking.
Choo-choo.
I think that's phrase like 40 years old.
You're like an old
date.
Yeah. Just keep trucking. You're so funny. Oh my goodness. I can't.
Hang in there, baby.
It's almost Friday. Hang in there, baby. Man, because you have to. Do you wear that do you wear this all the time?
I have a machine at home that plugs into my wall. It's like a home unit that's meant to do long hauls. So I have that, and this one just travels with me.
It's the same noise?
Pretty much. Yeah. But it's funny because now it's like white noise and it's in my bedroom. And now I'm like, when I get rid of this stuff, when I don't need it anymore,
oh my god,
I have to have something in there.
It's like, I'm so used to sleeping with a fan.
Yeah.
If you don't have a fan when you're sleeping, you're like, it's deafening! It's so quiet, it's deafening, I can't hear.
And I feel bad too because I'm so used to this machine. And when I go to movies, I have to take it. And like now I'm finally conscious where I try not to sit near people because sometimes I'll get that look and I'm like, oh yeah, they're not used to hearing that noise.
It's like during like a. Have you read the book Fault in Our Stars?
Yes.
I when I read that, like every page I was like, this is Brigette. This is Brigette. This is
then the part
Brigette.
of me goes, I'm sitting there calculating, like, okay, she's on 2 liters of oxygen and she has one of these tanks. She's been out how many hours? Like I'm trying to get the logic of it. I'm like, why am I doing this?
I can't. I remember I recommended. I was like, Brigette, you have to read this book. It reminded me so much of like your story.
And that's I cried from the first page because of that. I was like, somebody gets it. Like
no, it really like
how I feel.
It really that book was probably the biggest insight. And the thing is with that, it made me realize like you don't pity people who are dealing with something like this. It's an inspiration because you can see how they're dealing with a stress that you can barely even imagine. And that right there, in and of itself, is something that puts people who are dealing with something like this, to me, above myself. Because when stress happens, I will like completely break down. I'm not gonna lie. You should have seen me after my divorce. I was a hot mess, and that's not a permanent thing. Like that's just an emotional. But the fact that we can sit here, talk about it, and still be silly and laugh. That's something that to me is an inspiration. Because I just be like, I would be in the perpetual guilt. Why would me? Why am I like this?
Pity parties sometimes.
Oh, you have to.
But
you don't live there.
No, you can't. And
I
that's
probably
too,
would take up residence.
Even when people say that, it's like, well, you could just give up. And I'm like, no, to me that's not an option. I have to keep going. That's what I have to do.
One step in front of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's that whole pity thing too. And I think that's why for a long time I didn't really want to disclose things.
You didn't say anything.
And I figured if I just looked sick, and that was the thing. I had a really hard time when I quote unquote became looking sick.
Yeah.
Which for a long time you wouldn't know looking at me, and I was excited about that, and then it was like, okay, then I started losing weight. And then I didn't breathing. Now I have to wear these, and it's like now I fit that. And the way people look at you sometimes, they're like, I'm still a person. You don't look at me like
believe me, I get it. I get it. I was talking to a friend today, and I was like, I was never looked at ever differently in my life. I was a white, highly educated woman from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing would be women and I never felt discriminated in the Northeast ever. And the second I started wearing a hijab, it was just boom.
Yeah.
Night and day.
And then I think too, first of all, it throws you aback.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, what really changed? I'm still a person, I'm still me,
You're still punk rock.
I think that, and then part of you, I think too, in a good way, then you become more aware of other people and maybe more empathetic. I'd like to think, going through this, that, when I see people, it's
that are different or struggle, or you're empathetic to their situation.
Yeah, and I still think, I know you're still a person, and I can't, because I'm just thinking, for example, like if I go to the mall, or we go to one of the Disney parks, I have to be in a wheelchair. I can't. Can't walk it anymore.
No.
And going through that, let me tell you, I can't imagine somebody who permanently has to be in a wheelchair and deal with that every day. Just getting around the way people treat you, it's just.
What do you mean?
insane.
How they treat you?
Well, I'll say at the parks, everybody who works actually was really awesome. And they're all aware of procedures, with wheelchairs and all that. But either people will just pretend you're not there and step all over you and walk in front of you, or it's that thing where they know you're there and they keep staring and it's weird to them kind of thing.
Gotcha, yeah.
But that's why I love kids, because it's funny because
there's no assumption.
No, kids will stare at me and parents are always like, don't stare, don't look. And I'm always like, well, no, it's okay, they're curious. And sometimes you get asked, what are these?
Yeah.
Oh, they help me breathe. And okay.
That's fine.
They just wanted to know. So I'd rather somebody ask me than
treat
look
you
over
like
and
a
pretend
leper.
I'm not there.
Yeah, treat you like a leper type thing.
Just pretend they're not there. It's so weird. I'd like to think I'm very accepting of many ideas, and I don't claim, any one path. And it's very odd when you're kind of faced with something that's what they call end stage. When somebody says that to you, it's very final.
End stage?
End stage disease. That's
end
what they call
stage.
it. Yeah.
Which means definition what?
You're at the end of your disease, and that's when they decide to put me on the transplant list. Basically, that my chances of survival are better. I think they say within 2.5 years. That if I let my disease go, I'll die from it. So my better chance is to try to get lungs.
Right.
That's kind of how they look at it.
Gotcha. Your last ditch effort.
Yeah. I hate that term. end stage though. But
Yeah.
because I'm like, well, 2 years, I'm still here. I'm not laying in a bed dying. You know?
Well, and taking good care of yourself.
Yeah. But I think so that brings up a lot of
Thoughts.
stuff. Yeah. And I'm still, I think, trying to learn, trying to explore, and
It's always a good thing.
seeing what's there and what I, you know,
Yeah.
things that keep you going and keep you on a good path.
Hang in there.
Yeah, hang in there, baby.
I'm glad I didn't cry. I did a little bit.
You can make this like a session and you be my psychiatrist.
Yeah, it's
Just
okay.
Let it all go.
Just let it go. And I'll just sit here going, let it go, let it go. I was singing that in the shower the other day and my mom heard me and she goes, and I was like, yeah, I was trying to think if I could sing the whole song, but I have to lower it, like half an octave, and then I can sing the whole
You
thing.
know what's terrible?
What?
I haven't seen that movie yet.
It's so good. It's like
I know all the references and I've never seen it.
oh my god. Okay, so like one of the really funny stories was when we worked at Disney, like I forget where we were all sitting around, I forget why. But everybody was picking Disney characters who they were.
Yeah.
Right. You were Snow White.
Mm.
Anna was Belle.
Mm-hmm.
What was Andrew? And then they said, I was the hamster from Bolt.
That's right.
and everybody else got princes and princesses, and I got the hamster from Bolt. And then my mom said, I'm Olaf. She's like, you're a mixture. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Like a snowman
So I have like
hamster.
I'm a snowman
And a
hamster.
little ball. I think it was the ball that really did it. The hamster ball.
Let it begin. I think his excitement.
Yeah, his enthusiasm.
And his enthusiasm and commitment to like being in whatever reality.
Yeah. Well, he's just himself and he doesn't care. You know, I mean,
Oh my
comfortable
god.
with himself.
I just remember that and I was like, I wanted to be Jasmine.
What was Andrew?
I don't remember.
Ooh, either.
He was like the all-American something or other. Probably like the football from like Casey Jones. Football player from Casey Jones. Man, that was good times.
So good.
Man, that was so much. I had so much fun working there. That was like Twilight years, but without vampires.
Yes. And bad acting.
Yeah. No, don't go.
I love you so much.
This intense feeling.
I can't change my facial expression.
I smell a fart. That's her face. Like
That is her face. All the time.
it's either.
How giant my head is.
Oh wait. No, it's not that big.
My dad said
I have a huge
TV
head.
head.
You have a TV head?
That's what he said. Because if you have a big head, you're good for TV.
I must be great for TV.
We could be
then.
news anchors.
Yeah, we could. Bobbleheads. Today. An affliction.
Coming up at 5.
And then you
Over
have
to Bob with the wind.
well, today is slightly cloudy with a chance of rain around 3 o'clock, but it's Florida, you do know.
So I just filmed this, and we're just going to replay it
Every day. High above 99, chance of humidity 100%. What are things that you miss the most?
Oh, I think I just miss the ease of little things, not having to. Honestly, every minute of every day, I think about my breathing. Like, I'm so aware of it, and I miss just being able to jump in the shower, or
Without having that hassle of
like I have to plan, and all right, and here's the effort, and I think just not having to think about things that you know, getting up and walking to the mailbox, or walking the dog, or
yeah.
I think little things I miss more than.
So it's like the stuff that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Is the stuff
But I used to take it for granted too, because and I've never been more aware. Like not too long ago, my home machine just stopped working in like the middle of the night. And I've never been more aware of how reliant I am on machines and things. And it like freaked me out. Luckily I had this machine, you know,
Yeah.
like a backup, but I was like, oh man, what would I do if all these things went out and have to call fire department and be like, get over here. Bring some oxygen.
Goodness. Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, I just hate being tethered to things and, you know, around my house and this big tube walking
You
around.
you don't have like emergency oxygen somewhere?
I have a couple tanks, yeah.
Okay. Don't
So
get me
you get
scared,
somewhere.
Bridget. I'll move in and like I'll just blow into a tube.
Take some air. Take it.
I would put fans on you. Like one of those
vacuum in reverse. Thanks.
Boom. Like I would jury rig it so it would work for you.
I really imagine like a cartoon where I just turn into this big ball. Scared. To think I'd be Charlie, but
Not everyone. That's the thing. That's like oh, what character would be? I'd be Harry Potter. No, you wouldn't. Only one person could. I wouldn't want to be Harry Potter.
I would have been some random kid in the background who never does it.
Okay, so which house would you be sorted into? I think I'd be sorted into. Although I did go on to.
I'd probably be a Hufflepuff.
I got sorted twice. Got one time into Gryffindor and I was like, oh, I want to be Gryffindor. Like everybody wants to be Gryffindor. I was like, no. And then I got Ravenclaw and I was like, that's better.
Maybe I'm just lazy because I'm like, that's too much work to be Gryffindor.
Yeah, Gryffindor, but they're not like known for their intellect. They're known for their bravery.
Yeah.
Get this?
It's just the whole school seems like
what was it? J.K. Rowling. She said that Hufflepuff was like the best house. She would want to be in Hufflepuff. Cause like, who wants to be in Slytherin?
That's where I'm gonna be when I get better because I'm like dishes and
It's like you have split personalities. Like, well, before transplant, I'm Hufflepuff. Sorry, guys. After, like,
things are gonna get done.
Things are gonna be different around here. Oh my goodness. So, do they have like a? They don't even have a close ETA for you.
No, it's a big process. It's kind of hard to explain, but the gist of it is. Hi, puppy.
Hello, Lily Poot.
No, it looks like I'm talking to the floor. There's a dog down here.
It's the Putin. Lily, come here. Come here, buddy. Come here.
Hi. You can say
Hi. Come on. Up here. You can come up here. Come here. You're such a bully.
Yay. Hi.
Oh, don't do face kisses. Oh, dude. She's like the little kid. What's with the tube? Can I have one too?
It's just air. Nothing yummy. So essentially, across the country, there's different centers where they have this big list of donors. You know, if you're, something happens to you, end up in the hospital. When you're declared dead, they will go to your next of kin and ask, you know, would you like to make this or not? So they take the list of all the donors, all the organs they have, and that can be lungs, kidneys, livers, also eyes, tissue donations. So all of us who are on the transplant list are giving, well, for lungs, I should say, can't speak for everybody. For lungs, we're giving what's called a lung allocation score. What that means is, to be considered for transplant, we had to go through multiple tests, and that kind of determined our health, how well we would do after transplant, all of that, and it goes from 0 to 100. The higher number you have, the higher you are up on the list.
What number are you?
I think for my blood type at my center, I'm at the top. So my center then has this list of people who need lungs, as does every center across the country. And they kind of do it by region. because the lungs have to get there within a certain amount of time.
Right, right.
So when they come in, they'll say, okay, well, what size are they? They have to measure size, blood type, tissue type, and just overall, are they good? Is it a good fit for transplant? So a lot of things have to come together. So it's pretty miraculous when it happens when you consider everything that goes on. And actually with lungs, of course, they're the hardest organs to come by. And about, I think it's 80% of them they can't even use that they get. So it's kind of a masterful game. But it happens, every day. People get organs and start new lives and that.
Hopeful.
Yeah. So I've been waiting 2 years. Average at the center is about 4 months. So just, again, my size makes it difficult.
Yeah, because you're pretty petite.
Yeah.
Here you are. Watch this, ready? Watch your tongue. That's the spot. See, ready? Wait. You gotta stand up so people can see. Ready? Oh, not me. Just in the general. Where is it? There's it. Oh, she likes that. If you rub her right above her tail, she'll just go to town. Oh, yeah. She's always been like that since she was a puppy. So this video was filmed in June. And since then, Brigette has been in the hospital. And inshallah, she'll be getting out soon. But the reason I wanted to shoot this video is because Brigette is one of my favorite people in the whole world. And she's going through a lot. And I just wanted... The thing that gets me is I take so much for granted. And then I look at my friend Brigette, and she is such a trooper and has an amazing perspective, as you can see. We giggled the whole time, even though it's a really serious matter. Just the interesting part about Islam is that we can look at a small blessing like breathing, and there's a million blessings in one small blessing. And the fact that breathing is really a struggle for her, it makes me appreciate the blessings I have in my life even more, and want to make dua and help out with anybody that is having any kind of struggle. I hope you sort of maybe gained a little insight, and if you want to, share some love to Brigette. I'm going to put her links and stuff in the doobly-doo. She's sort of started a Facebook page to walk you through sort of what she goes through on a day-to-day basis, and keeping me updated on what's happening in her life, because I'm now in Texas and she's in Florida. But as you can see, when we get together, it's a giggle fest. I'm so excited because I uploaded a video every day of Ramadan, and Eid is tomorrow. So excited. And I just want you to think about on Eid to be grateful and celebrate every blessing that God has given you, and take nothing for granted, because you never know what's going to happen, and please pray for those in need, and I'll see you soon. Assalamu alaikum.